Hey everybody, welcome back to Yossi Schmidt Show. Today we have Chemi Rosenfeld on the podcast. Chemi is the man who helped me, who convinced me to start the podcast.
Correct. COVID era, I believe, right?
Yes, the first podcast was December of 2020.
What was it? Ron. Who was the first guest?
Ron Coleman was not the first podcast though, but Ron Coleman was the first. No, the first guest was actually Elise Rhodes, the former chief marketing officer of Parler.
Yes, I remember that one. Yes.
And the first video podcast was with Ron Coleman.
Ron Coleman, yes, I remember that
one. Little known secret, people don't know this, but I actually interviewed Jason Miller. You probably remember that too.
Correct. Remember him?
I will not forget. I was out at Chemi's apartment when I was practicing for that interview.
I remember that paper, yeah. It's been a long time.
So Chemi comes over to me. He says, Yossi, you know podcasts. You know politics. So start your own podcast. Now, going back, people are not going to believe this, but I actually didn't want to do it. Chemi had to push me to do it.
You said no for like 2 years.
I'm like, not happening.
Yeah.
It took a lot of convincing. I was very politically involved. I actually remember I was babysitting my Chemi once, and I was recording a podcast. Not a podcast. I was putting together a video about Elon.
Oh, just mind you, my kids were crying the entire time because he was busy on his phone. Continue.
I was making a video about Ilhan Omar, but I could not bring myself to put my voice public. I had to have someone else do the voiceover.
Who was? Do we know who the?
Of course,
yes.
Who it is.
What's it mean?
Good old Mickey Cohen.
Mickey Cohen, yes. I don't know if I can say his name, but yeah. Big thank you to him as well.
MCM Marketing. Mickey Cohen Marketing.
Good
Shout
guy.
out Mickey.
Good guy, Mickey.
And then Team With Supporter was founded February 6, 2018. I saw an issue with conservatives being shadowbound on Twitter. I don't know if you remember. I had a daily tracker that started on February 6th, 2018, 8 years ago today. And it went for about 300-something days. And then Twitter decided to ban the World Supporter account.
Remember that one?
I called Chemi up bugging.
But we got you reinstated.
Elon Musk reinstated that account years later. I started the
Yossi Schmidt show. But you know.
I started the Yossi Schmidt show.
Question: did you get a warning from Twitter?
No. I actually won't forget this. I got banned. The first phone call I made was to Chemi.
Right.
I'm like, you're not gonna believe this. I actually got banned. What happened was my friend ran the Twitter account SV Newsletters, and he was talking about something shady going on election day. It was election day actually, and seconds later he was banned. I say something on Twitter, back then it was Twitter, and I immediately got banned. Then I quickly went to my personal account and I got banned on that account too. I ran outside of my house and I called Chemi. And the name Team With Supporter was founded because I think that the world needs to be free and not globalist. But at the same time, the name Team With Supporter I never really liked. I don't know if you knew
Correct.
that.
We always discussed it that, down the road one day we'll change it. And we did change it.
I never liked the name Team With Supporter. I always thought it did sound globalist, even though that's not what we stand for at the Digital Free Press.
It's a pro-globalist movement.
I want the whole world to be free, no dictatorship and nothing. But at the same time, I spent a long time with the name Team With Supporter, so I'm not going to deny it. My website was teamwithsupporter.com. We had a lot of logos, a lot of TWS News Roundup. The News Roundup started as the TWS News Roundup.
Prior to the website.
And I don't know if I could say his name, but PB is the person who convinced me to start the news roundup. Of course, I ran it by Chemi, but
PB was actually good man. Shout out to PB.
And then last year I said, "There's no way I'm going to February 6th, 2025, with the name Team with Porter."
No.
So I spent a good 20 minutes on the phone with another friend of mine, S.A. Shlemmy A.
Good.
And he does not want me to say his name. And he helped me come up with the new name, the new logo. We got the new website. It took a while for us to get the new website up and running, but the website should be up and running by February 6th, which is today. The statement might go on, I still haven't made my mind up. It might go on X, might go on, the statement article might go on X, Pickaxe, or our own website. But at the same time, the Digital Free Press encapsulates everything that we do here at the Digital Free Press.
Is there a big difference? I know besides the name, as TWS shouldn't, like, because, the name was more globalist. Does your organization do anything different than TWS, the TDFP?
No, but it helps me reinforce that we don't endorse. Because I've said this time and time again, press should not endorse. Press endorsing means influencing, and the job of the journalists are to inform and not manipulate.
Correct.
People ask me all the time, Yossi, can you please endorse? Can you please tell me who you're voting for? My closest friends don't know who I'm voting for because I don't talk about it. They're like, Yossi, who you vote? Not happening. Now, my opinions are very strong, and on X, you can infer who I vote for.
Right.
But
even when we put out, I even remember when you were putting out on your website reviews for other platforms, you never actually said, use this website versus this website. Instead, it was always, this is my opinion. You actually wrote an article for another website about the election.
Yes, I did. And in that article, I just laid out the policies and did not make an endorsement.
And you also did it for the governor race in New Jersey.
Right. That is what I did.
Correct, yeah. Oh, I thought it was also for the presidential one.
No, the presidential one I did not do.
So it was the governor race. Yeah, I remember reading it on another website that took it. I mean, we gave it to them.
No. It was given to them. It was an op-ed. Shout out to the Lakewood Scoop. Very popular site here in Lakewood.
Yes.
The Lakewood region's #1 news outlet.
Correct.
Over 25,000 subscribers on WhatsApp. I should know. But very, very popular site here in Lakewood.
Correct. And I remember when you put it out, you're like, this is the benefit from this candidate, this is the benefit from this candidate. You laid it out, the facts, and you just put it out there. And I feel like that's something that media is missing. Like, if anything happens tomorrow that's in the world news, if you log into Fox, you're going to read one side of the story, and the same story could happen from Fox and CNN. And you're going to read two separate stories, two different headlines, different opinions, different approaches, different everything.
The Digital Free Press it took from Dan Bongino that the media doesn't tell you the story. They tell you a story.
Correct.
They take something that's going on and they add to it, they make up to it, they leave things out. Whatever fits their agenda, that's what they tell you.
Correct.
They're going to tell you this, they're going to tell you that. I'm not getting into specifics right now, but the media covered Barack Obama one way, and they covered Donald Trump another way. The Republicans covered Barack Obama one way, and they covered Donald Trump a totally different way.
Let me ask you a question. You're talking about the news media, right? How do these headlines lie without lying?
I could tell you this. My grandfather is a writer, and he told me in writing school that they taught that perfect example for your question. They taught that there was a race between Russia and the United States, two countries. But a lot of people didn't know that. The headline was that America won. But Russia couldn't write that. So Russia wrote, Russia came in second from last. I think that answers your question.
Do you see it a lot in the media?
More than I'd like to. And when I post on my WhatsApp status, I even started putting summaries on my WhatsApp status of the articles. I always give credit to the source because I am a news aggregator, not a news agency. One day, the Digital Free Press will be a news agency.
We're working on that. And we will be in the White House.
And we will be in the White House.
With our badges.
With our press badges.
Sitting next to Turks and the other guy.
And not...
Shout out to Ami and Mishpacha.
And not German fake press badges.
No. Those are terrible.
Yes, that actually did happen. We're not getting into that.
We're not going to talk about it. We are not going to talk about
actually, it. I think the press badge is somewhere around here in this office, but that's besides.
We should show it to the viewers. I think they would actually.
I think it might be behind you.
Really? Let me see. Hold up.
He found it.
There it is. If anybody wants to believe me. German Daily News. There you go. You want to?
This actually happened. But so we're very careful about who we endorse, not to give any we actually don't endorse. I don't know why I said who we endorse. We don't endorse. We just lay out the facts. That's what I did for the Lakewood Scoop, and that's what I will do for the Digital Free Press. And that is the Digital Free Press's motto. Transparency is key, hold everyone accountable, and inform and not manipulate.
Correct. Question. Was there ever a time in the last 8 years where you found yourself in a corner and you were about to call quits on it?
Yes, multiple times. I will say this. People don't know the story about how Yossi Schmidt, the Digital Free Press, formerly Team World Supporter, got involved in social media reviews. I had created a Google form of submit that you're banned from Twitter, and we will fight for you. But you have to provide different things. I definitely told you the story. And the CEO of CloudHub, the CEO founder of CloudHub, Jeff Brain, slid into my DMs and said, check out my platform. Then my friend says, Yossi, you never heard of Parler? And I'm like, there's 2 platforms? What? And I did a review. I did a comparison. Jeff Brain worked with me. Parler did not. Years later, I actually just interviewed John Matz. But that's a whole nother story.
Want to tell people who John Matz is?
John Matz was the co-founder and CEO of Parler. OG.
But you went to Manhattan to meet with him.
No, I went to Manhattan to meet with the CEO of Getter.
Getter was, yeah, my bad. Apologies, people.
And of course, Chemi took me. But we actually have met numerous people through the Digital Free Press.
We also went for dinner once with someone.
Yes, we did. Shout out Matt.
Yes, thank you. It's been a while since I heard from him.
Matt and I have become very close friends. He came on the podcast. He wrote a couple books. Thanks to the Digital Free Press, formerly Team World Supporter. You know, I'm copying X, formerly Twitter. Formerly known as Twitter.
Formerly known.
So Team World Supporter, formerly, the Digital Free Press, formerly known as Team World Supporter.
I hate to jump off subject over here for a second, but why did Twitter switch to X?
Because Elon Musk is infatuated with the letter X. SpaceX, X Corp.
Tesla Model X.
Actually, I think they're discontinuing the Tesla Model X and the Y. Give me a second.
We just, yeah, I know about that, but yeah, you follow news more than I do, so just take a little bit of a break from TDWP and
TDWP.
let's discuss more of Elon Musk's SpaceX and his electric cyber trucks.
Okay, I can't find it all.
Shout out to Elon Musk for making a refrigerator on wheels, by the way.
Okay, I can't find it off the top of my lungs, off the top of my brain and my head. But throughout everything, the Digital Free Press, I forgot to have it here. The Digital Free Press actually has a one of its kind mug, the Digital Free Press mug. So, here's a question for you: do you guys want merch?
Yes.
Or no?
Yes.
We need to get a whole backdrop for the Digital Free Press here, but that's besides the point.
All right, hoodies,
Caps,
beanies. It's the winter. By the way, shout out for anybody in the world that's not below freezing temperature, but
even in Florida, they are.
in Florida, the iguanas are dying.
Someone asked me, Yossi, they're falling out of the trees. What do people do with them? I said, people eat them.
Yeah. They probably taste okay.
Yeah, there's YouTube videos, catch, clean, cook iguanas. It's an invasive species. People go out to specifically hunt iguanas. Let me know if you eat them. I want to know how they taste.
Let's talk a little bit about your. Let's talk a little bit about your website.
The website hosts the podcast, obviously. It hosts the reviews, statements. Actually, there's a statement. Someone asked me, Yossi, what's the difference between a statement and a review? I released a statement about Gab because everyone's like, Yossi, Gab is an alternative social media platform, and they're anti-Semitic. You can't touch them. So I look at Gab. Yes, I'm an Orthodox Jew. I look at Gab, and anyone have any alcohol for me? Somebody forgot to bring.
Shabbat shalom. Anyway,
so, Chemi, not Chemi. So I wrote a whole statement why I'm not going to review Gab. I wrote that it's perfect. They work with law enforcement. There's free speech. The frees of the free. They're building a parallel economy. This, that, and the third. But I did not review it. I didn't give it a rating. I didn't go into them. I didn't go through the terms of services. So everyone asked me why. Because the CEO of Gab had to learn to distance himself from Gab. He was putting out messages from his faith from the official Gab accounts. That is what labeled Gab as anti-Semitic. Now, you're entitled to your own opinion. You're entitled to say whatever you want. I'm not judging. You do whatever you do. It's you. But it turns people off when it comes from your own, from the company's page. It turns people off. What you need to do, I had to do it myself. I wrote in the statement. I had to learn to separate Yossi from the Team Supporter back then because it was Team Supporter. Now it's the Digital Free Press.
what changes were made in the last couple of years for your website? What improvements have you seen that you didn't have? Let's go back COVID era-ish time. Well,
so actually, the website hasn't existed that long. The website existed
2021, right after COVID.
After a friend of mine arranged a meeting with someone named Ben Shapiro.
Can we say the name is? Shout out to
MR. I don't know if he wants me to say his name.
Correct. How about you tell people how your interview with Ben Shapiro was?
It was very good. We spoke for 5 minutes. And
I wasn't allowed to be there, right?
I think you were there.
I know. It was covert. It was like a covert.
It was after. No, it was after COVID. It was just very
covert. No one was able to know about it.
Oh, but if I look good enough, I have pictures of it somehow. But it was done. Thank you, Ben, for meeting with me. It was a very nice
What's the
interview.
experience?
And again, like I said, I became friends with a lot of people through the digital free press, through politics. Going back 8 years, would both of us think
No.
we never thought it would get anywhere?
Started there, we're like, all right, we'll see where it goes. You know, we'll throw a couple of darts at the wall and we'll go from there.
I was still in high school at the time.
You were still making me, we were still going out to eat a glob bite.
You should try glapite. It's good food.
Delicious.
But that's
especially if you like mashed potatoes without gravy.
Whoever gets that reference, good for you.
Good for you.
Those were the days.
Do you have with you interviewing all the people on your podcast and your success that you've seen, does it really make a difference to you what political party that person is, if it's Republican or Democrat?
No.
Have you done interviews with both sides?
I haven't, but I would. I almost had a Democratic candidate from the New Jersey primary Democratic candidate on. It didn't work out for him. He followed me. Shout out Mayor Fulop. He was going to come on.
I remember that. What happened?
I guess it didn't work out for him. I actually went to the debate of the Republican primary. Shout out Jack Chiarelli. He came on.
I remember that.
Mario Kranjak came on. Anyone else came on? No, Edward Durr. Not only did Edward Durr come on, I didn't have to reach out to anybody to get him on. I sent out a post how to get him on. How do I get Edward Durr on the podcast? He himself reached out to me and we made it happen. I will never forget that.
Are we allowed to talk midterms or we're not allowed to go there?
I don't do predictions. Why don't I do predictions?
Next question was going to be, can I ask a question? Let's see, why is it that you don't do predictions?
I have a question for you before I answer. How often have you asked me to do predictions?
If I'd get $1 for every time I've asked you to do predictions, I would say I can maybe come close with Elon Musk's wealth of how much I would have spent.
And what has been my response every time you ask?
I don't do predictions.
So why don't I? Because in 2016, before I was really into politics, Hillary Clinton was projected to win. We had a massive upset and Donald Trump won. And then came the rumors that he stole the election and everything like that. In 2020, everything was going the way Donald Trump wanted. And I'm not getting into fraud or no fraud or anything like that. But when I went to sleep that night, I was 99% positive Donald Trump's winning. The next morning, I woke up to Joe Biden being president.
4 a.m. job post in Philadelphia. Sorry about that.
And the amount of irregularities that were there, it hit me right in the head, in the face, to never make predictions because things can change last second. It also hit me, polls are never trustworthy because people are afraid to say that they support Trump. They're afraid to say.
Do you explain people how polls work and how postals work?
People call polls. People call polls. Listen, people also drink alcohol.
Let's start from the beginning of polls because I always feel like 80% of this, and but they're basically taking percentage of percentages. So
they're not calling everybody. I get civic something emailed to me all the time. I don't even answer the polls. I never respond. And the polls are never trustworthy because they're only into the polling percentage of percentage. Then people are afraid to say anything. People are afraid that they're going to say that they support Trump and get negative blowback. People are afraid to say that they support Kamala Harris because they don't like Trump. But people are afraid to say who they support, who they don't support because of the thing. So you can never be on. All I always say is go out and vote.
Well, yeah, that's for sure.
election day, I always take my phone, I record a video, and I say, go out and vote. And I always record another video saying, reporters, do your damn jobs and ask questions if you see something. Always. Every election day, even if it's not in New Jersey, I always put out those videos.
What was your organization doing on election day?
Watching the news closely.
Okay.
And then, actually, I'm going to say this. I might get blowback.
Ooh! Write it down, people.
But from 9 to 10, when the results come in, I don't look at news. I don't look at anything. And I tune out. Nothing can ever take that away from me. I do something, Candace Owens, I hope you're watching, called the Dafyeni. I never.
One second. Go back to the Candace Owens joke, and then we'll talk about your Dafyoni, which is very important. I do support it. Let's go back to the Candace Owens joke, because not everybody knows what it is. So I think people may enjoy it. So yeah.
What do you want me to say?
You said it. Actually, you know what? You said it perfectly. So you can then go.
Look, in all seriousness, I'll say it on the podcast. I'll say it publicly. Candace Owens, people are saying, oh, she's an anti-Semite, she's this, she's that, she was never any good, she's always a grifter. I have something totally off the wall. She used to be seen as someone somewhat sane, someone who people liked.
Conservatives,
someone somewhat sane. And all of a sudden, October 7th happened, and then she started asking questions, yelling. Ben Shapiro and Candace had their fallout. So the question was, whoa, what happened? And then she started saying all these things about Charlie Kirk, how she came to her in a dream. I don't know what happened. You ready for this? I don't think that she really means what she's saying. You ever heard the theory that people say that people are crying for help? She's saying whatever insanity comes her way to tell people, help me. I don't know what's going on. I pray for Candace Owens every day. I wake up, I pray for someone needs to do a wellness check on Candace Owens.
back to your organization.
Yeah.
Where are you seeing the 9th year?
Ooh, the 9th year. Well, hopefully we're going to have more in-person interviews. Of course, Chemi had to be the first one.
Yeah, I own it. I'm partial owner.
But hopefully more in-person interviews, doubling down on the status, making it the best status out there, doubling down on my new WhatsApp group with explanations, doubling down on the podcast, maybe possibly bringing back the news roundup.
Oh, he said it.
Of course, if enough feedback, possibly.
Don't say
merch.
it. Don't say it. I'm mentioning it. We're definitely gonna work on merch. But I do have a big question. This is a big year in news. This is the midterms. Will you be approaching people from Congress, people from the Senate, to jump onto your podcast?
I am trying, but we actually shout out Tim Burchett. He came on the podcast.
Yes.
Hopefully he'll come on again. And we had lots of good guests in the past. Plenty more working on. People, we can't say much, but transparency is key. And the second I can say more, I will. All right, everyone.
One last question to ask you. What are you seeing in today's media where people are losing trust in the media?
Always read between the lines to see what's going on. And do what I do. Aggregate news. See who you trust. Left wing, right wing, middle wing, whatever you want. But always read all sources. Don't believe everything you read right away. Double check, triple check, quadruple check, and everything in between.
Thank you so much for your time, Yossi.
Thank you, Chemi. we will be seeing Chemi more.
See you back next year, February 6th.
No, we'll have you
We'll
on
have
in
it.
between.
Looking forward.
I don't know when. Oh, maybe we're going to stop teasing Yossi Unleashed and actually release Yossi Unleashed solo podcast, more than 10 minutes, and my opinions, again, no endorsements, but my opinions unleashed, unfiltered,
Cool.
Yossi Unleashed.
Let's see you at least.
Happy birthday. See you next year.